Hey there, and welcome to this episode of Just One Quick Question. Today I'm talking to Alex Gould with Long Story Short. And Long Story Short is an agency founded in Toronto, now operating in New York City. And what Alex does is his agency develops marketing campaigns and initiatives for technology companies to help make the technology easy to understand for the audience. And here is what happened when I asked Alex just one quick question. How do you stay inspired?
That's a great question.
I thought so as well.
I was sitting here for the last week, JT, trying to figure out what of all questions were you going to ask me,
What's he
and
dropping on me?
what is he going to hit me with?
So
I
I'll just
started
sit here and drink my coffee while
yeah.
you ponder this.
I started prepping for the meaning of life, and you know, just very deep psychological thought, and here we are. So, what inspires me? I think it really comes down. There's a couple things. Great people, right? And I think kind of in the pursuit of excellence and kind of being inspired, I tend to gravitate towards very innovative people. I'd say at the end of the day, I started my career big brand agency side, and after about 10 years of that, I got fed up of selling ketchup and sneakers, right? And found there were all these people out here doing incredible, amazing things, but really had no way to kind of help talk about it or kind of communicate it in a clear way. So um, I'm, constantly getting out of bed in the morning, wondering who am I going to meet today that's doing something, life changing, human altering, that's just going to propel humanity to the next level. And how can I help them, right? How can I work with them to kind of help achieve this at the end of the day? So, um, great people, I think, is kind of one thing. Um, Art and design, I think, has always been a passion and kind of inspiration for me. I'm always excited to see, uh, great artwork and again different formats, because I think that just triggers things in my brain and kind of gets me thinking, well, what else could we do in a similar format way? So I'd say design, art, has always been kind of a key piece of inspiration for me. Um, and my family, I think, also is kind of a great source of
Right.
inspiration. My wife, in particular, I think, is uh, very kind of driven and ambitious, but then positive and fantastic person who's kind of again inspired me to go out and do things. And I've got I don't know if I told you or not, but we've got a baby now, JT.
I did not know that.
So yes,
Congratulations.
we've got a 2.5-month-old baby now. So so seeing the little man, his name's Wes. Just I think uh, I am inspired to kind of get out of bed every morning to kind of for his sake to kind of get out and do great things, and I think set the right example more than
Be a good
anything.
example. Take care of him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Be a
right.
responsible adult.
Yes, yeah, and kind of start to fill that in. So, yeah, it's funny. Those are kind of the, being in my mid 30s now, this is kind of where I've kind of transcended to. I'm very interested to see where other people come back based on where they are in their life.
You are like a lifetime movie, my friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, so you
that's,
just said a bunch of words. All I really heard is not inspired by selling ketchup, I think is
yeah,
really,
is basically one of the key things. I think
yeah, yeah,
the general, I don't know. It's so funny, and this is, I mean, it's deterred me from ever wanting to work for another big agency again because um,
right.
I lived through people arguing over credit cards and fonts and and whatnot, like for minimal detail that nobody really cared about, and to really kind of create no real change in the world at the end of the day.
Who have you met or talked to recently in the past week or two who you felt inspired by? Like, can you think of anybody super creative or interesting that you've interacted with lately?
I mean, we're fortunate enough that we've got some really interesting clients right now that are doing some pretty incredible things. So, um, there's a company that we just started working with in November, and kind of continue to talk to them. But a gentleman by the name of Tomi Putinen, who is now setting up. This is his fourth company called Signal One. And they're actually looking at how do you apply AI to predict changes in patient conditions up to 48 hours out. So, and basically actually be able to determine who's going to deteriorate, who's going to get better, to then go in and, they're really looking at how can you address the existing, current stresses of resources on the healthcare system, start to use and apply AI to figure out, who to prioritize ultimately, right? Who really, and who to staff kind of your best doctors against to, help increase the chances of survival, and then start to discharge people sooner, so you can actually start to tackle some of the resource issues that you've got in hospitals across North America. They've been able, in Toronto as of right now, I think they've been able to reduce the mortality rate by about 15% at one of the major hospitals here in the city. So that you kind of just sit there in awe and go, wow, this is how are you doing this? And Tomi's a brilliant mind, former Google engineer, and lives in the world of AI. And so that's kind of where we've been able to really kind of come in. And it's like, let's actually, help you kind of communicate what you're doing in a clear way that everyday people can get, and will want to say, hey, we need that. We need to get this in our hospital immediately, and kind of help save lives at the end of the day. So that's,
okay.
That's
so here's,
yeah, go ahead.
That's fantastic. No, and I can see how and why that's inspiring. But as you said all that, I realized there's another level to what I'm doing here that I did not even anticipate, and it just revealed itself. I talked to a buddy of mine on this same project a day or two ago. My buddy Drex, who lives in Seattle, and Drex has spent his entire career in healthcare, IT, and cybersecurity, and hospital administration, and he would love talking to you about this. So now I've got to introduce Alex and Drex as a result of these conversations.
This initial conversation is amazing. Yeah,
it's going to happen, dude. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
I'll anxiously await to kind of see where we net out with this. And well, thank you for this. Let me know if we can catch up again soon. It would be great to just chat life and whatnot.
Right on. We'll do it. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Take care, JT.
Well, there you have it. The man got tired of selling ketchup and sneakers and the whole big agency life and went off and did his own thing. If you want to learn more about Alex and Long Story Short, you can find him online at longstoryshortco.com. And if you dig what I'm doing and want to know when these episodes come out, then please subscribe. And if you think it's a cool thing, share it with other people. And I guess that's it for this episode. Until next time, keep it crusty.